am I the asshole for blowing up at my sick husband when he asked for help with our toddler?
Nah, I'm gonna say this is the first time he's fucking held that child in his hands. Yeah, I'm gonna say he's a shitty dad.
Okay.
So I'll say not the asshole. Also, by sick, he probably has like a cold or some shit.
Right. Has the classic, what's it called? Guy cold or whatever, man cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like guys just take being sick much less gracefully than women.
On average, potentially.
On average, you know. I mean, me, again, did not get a headache until 25, 26. Was just like, yeah, I think I may be dying. I think this is an aneurysm.
I think the worst I've been was when I had COVID a couple of years ago.
Oh, man. Every time, well, no. The first time I got COVID was bad. The second time I was like, oh, this is sick.
Oh, second time, yeah, it was like just.
I love this shit.
It's like just like a cold.
Yeah, it's a cold and I'm off of work for 2 weeks. This is crazy.
I was self-employed by then, so I didn't get that.
Oh, okay.
But the first one I got off a couple of days. That was nice. But I was also dying. So it's not fun. All right. So I plan on sending this post to my husband once the verdict is in, whichever way it goes. So I'll add as much of his perspective as I can. So love that.
Excited for the update.
Our toddler was sick through the weekend. I was up with him one night from 12:15 to 2:45 a.m. and off and on the next night. I probably got 10 to 12 hours of broken sleep the whole weekend. Yesterday, my husband mentioned he was starting to feel a little sick. Last night, I went to bed early, hoping to catch up on rest. All throughout the night, my husband woke me up way more often than my toddler ever does, even on a bad night. Some of the times were not directly his fault, but other times I felt he was being inconsiderate. And then she gives a list of 7 things, which I will say, some are definitely just like normal cold things, or like, and then other things are like, that's pretty fucked up. I'll let you deduce which ones I think they are.
Okay.
So number 1, he snored loudly in my ear. I mean, fairly normal, I guess. Like,
give him some mouth tape.
Yeah, shitty, but also, yeah, expected. Number 2, he asked for another blanket because he had chills. I told him it was at the foot of the bed. He asked for help and reminded me that he helps me when I'm sick and that he'd still do the morning routine with our son. I mean, you have a cold, you can reach down and grab a blanket.
Yeah.
That's something I've done.
I don't know, at the foot of your bed. Do you really need that much help?
I can't imagine.
I can't imagine. Unless you got like a California king.
Even then, it's not far. It was like packed in the basement, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Number 3, he had a nightmare and I had to shake him awake from it. In brackets, she puts, this is normal. Number 4, he whispered to Alexa to ask for the time.
Wait, that just pissed her off? That
I mean, that is that not crazy to you? That's crazy to me.
Wait, why?
To ask Alexa for the time. Doesn't she talk then? And be like,
oh, wait, this is the way she's woken up?
Yeah, him asking Alexa for the time.
Oh, yeah, that is wild.
And then
I
Alexa,
thought this was, my bad. I completely forgot what this list was for.
Oh, yeah.
That to wake up to that is crazy.
Yeah,
you
that's
just
insane.
Look at your phone.
Number 5, he asked for another blanket and I gave him mine. Number 6, he made a phone call in bed and left a full volume voicemail to his work to let them know he'd take the sick day. This is all before 5:30, by the way.
Are you on speaker?
At 5:30 in the morning, he woke up to ask me if I could do the wake up routine with our son. I do bedtime and he does wake up. So that's the list.
Okay. And this is all one night again.
All one night, yeah. So like I said, some of them normal things, other things I'm like, that's pretty inconsiderate.
Yeah.
At this point, I blew up. I expressed how mad I was that he woke me up all night long and how I now have to wake up early to do what he said he'd still do, and I don't get to stay home and catch up on sleep. He said I was in the wrong because marriage is in sickness and in health. I immediately got up to get ready. He said I didn't have to start getting ready so early. I said yes, I did because I start work at 7:30. I barely make it to work on time when I wake up at 6, and now I have to unexpectedly skip my shower, get my toddler ready, get his food ready for the day, feed him breakfast, drop him off at daycare, then take myself to work. I said he was a grown man with a cold and he robbed me of the rest I needed and that I'll be sleeping on the couch tonight. At that point, I asked for space, and we haven't talked since. I was late for work, which was a big deal at my job. I might be the asshole for blowing up at my husband when he asked for support during an unexpected illness. So am I the asshole for being mad at my sick husband?
Yeah, I think he fucked up a lot that night. I mean, unless this is happening a lot, like every time he's sick, I don't know if I would have blown up personally.
Okay, that's fair.
Just, shit happens, he was a real piece of shit for one night, but it's not like he did anything insane to me.
Right. Okay, that's fair. I will say she is also operating off of 3 also broken up nights. You know what I mean? Like, she had a sick toddler she was taking care of the previous. So she is very sleep deprived, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
So I am willing to give her the grace, I guess. She's also not probably at 100%, I would imagine.
That's fair.
So yeah, I think I think he did some.
I think
shitty
you're
things.
Definitely okay to be mad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I think you're definitely okay to be mad. I think you're definitely okay to not have spoken since then. But I think this is I don't know. I think this would be an easy fix conversation whenever y'all are back.
I agree.
This is one of the minor infractions I think that we've had on this show. So
yeah,
like definitely not a fucking divorce for this. Yeah, I think, like you said, she's sleep deprived. He's also being a bitch because he's a man that's sick, and that's just on average kind of what happens. We're fucking bitches. So yeah, I mean, once y'all get some time away, I think this will be an easy talk to have. Yeah. It sucks being late, but I'm like, unexpected things come in marriage and parenthood. So you kind of got to be ready to roll with the punches. But I do get in the moment being like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, you told me you got this covered.
Yeah.
We talked about it last night. You said you got it. And then you fucking proceed to be annoying all night. Just the fucking worst. And yeah, so I mean, I can imagine being pissed off about it.
Yeah. Like for me, it's not the coughing or the snoring or anything like that. That probably woke her up as well. It's the asking Alexa for the time. Crazy. Because doing the phone call and on full blast in bed. Also crazy.
You can't send a text.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Or at least get up, go to the bathroom, make the call there.
Yeah.
There's things you could do to avoid that, which is just inconsiderate to your partner. Even the blanket I'm willing to give grace on. I still think it's insane personally, but
no, he was being an insane person.
Yeah, he was being insufferable for the first blanket one for sure.
The second blanket is crazy.
But yeah, just not having that consideration for your partner, I think is a dick move. So you're right to be I think OP is right to be upset. Again, I think this is a conversation later. This is not divorce worthy, like you said.
Yeah.
This is just
going forward. If I was OP, I'd be either forcing him to sleep in the guest bedroom, or I would voluntarily sleep in the guest bedroom going forward.
Yeah,
on sick days, because I'm like, bitch, I can't stand your ass.
Which that's what Sienna and I do. Whenever one of us starts getting sick, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go on the guest bed for a couple days. You know what I mean? I also don't want to get sick, and then I also don't want to be woken up every night.
When Nancy first got COVID, I was like, just kiss me a lot. I want to get COVID too. I want to get that shit.
Get it over with.
let me stay in bed.
Yeah, but now it's like you don't even get to stay home, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, now it's like, what? Who cares?
I will say Reddit said not the asshole.
Yeah.
Which I think is where we landed.
Mm-hmm.
That hella high hobbit said, not the asshole. It's one thing if you slept all night and he was up all night sick and he woke you up and asked you to handle the morning routine. It's another when he willfully kept you awake, waking you up for extra blankets, asking for the time, and making a loud phone call is absolutely willful behavior from him. Your angry feelings are valid. If this is a one-time thing, when he's better, circle back and have a discussion. If this is a typical man flu cold behavior, he needs to stop it. Sleep deprivation is cruel. So yeah, I think that hit up many of the points we did. And then, like I said, there is an update. Most of it's answering questions from common questions from Redditors, which some of them were insane, so I left them out. The first one here is, why didn't you sleep in the guest room? And then they answer, we don't have one anymore. And then why didn't you sleep on the couch was the follow-up. And symptoms didn't hit hard until after we went to sleep, which is why we didn't initially sleep separately or change the morning arrangements the night before. So I think that's fair. You don't expect to be woken up a bunch of times. Why didn't you take the couch after the first few wake-ups? OP responds, I'm used to a few wake-ups. I wasn't expecting the next 5. Once I'm up physically, I'm mentally up. If I had gotten up from bed, it would have been difficult to go back to sleep at that point. Does he have sleep apnea? OPU says, I've suggested to him in the past that he does, and he should do a sleep study. He hasn't yet, and I'm not going to make an appointment for him.
Do that shit, y'all. Y'all could die.
Yeah.
As someone that has friends with sleep apnea, or like, you know, in college, you know, sleepovers and shit like that, I would just hear some of my friends would be like, brother, I swear we lost you a couple times that night. You must have seen
saw
Jesus.
God.
Yeah. The fucking snoring. Silence for what seems like an eternity is fucking insane. I was like, dude, that's not normal.
And then some Redditors are saying snoring and nightmares aren't his fault, to which OP responds, I already said they weren't. The nightmares are regular for him. We sleep separately often because of them, per my request. We'll go months sleeping apart, but then he'll say he doesn't sleep well alone. And since we only have the couch as a separate sleep space, I often cave and let him sleep with me again. He doesn't let me take the couch. So that tells a little bit more of their, like, it seems like they have sleeping issues already, even before this. So
it's crazy that he's not getting a sleep test when it's a constant.
Yeah.
When it's like a fight kind of like that, where they've had to sleep apart for months. Months is wild.
That's a long time. I think the first week of me being on the couch, I'd be like, yeah, I should probably,
I guess I should
figure this out.
Book that test, huh?
And then there's the update. So my husband saw the comments and guaranteed me uninterrupted sleep going forward. I again offered to sleep on the couch, but he insisted he take it and the baby monitor. As a compromise, we'll be sleeping separately on weeknights and together on weekends, unless I need to catch up on sleep or if one of us is sick. After seeing all perspectives, including my husband's, I'll agree with an everyone sucks verdict, with me being 20% the asshole. I had a right to be mad, but I should not have blown up. He should be able.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at too.
That's fair. He should be able to ask for help but within reason. I apologize for being snappy. He apologized for the wake-ups. No divorce lawyers necessary.
Hell yeah.
So, a good ending at the end. I do think if he doesn't go and get his sleep fixed, that will constantly be a,
and then at that point, I mean, honestly, with that news, I'm more, because I was kind of with her at the end there, where it's kind of like 2080. Like, yes, you should be mad. I probably would be mad. Nancy would probably be mad. But blowing up when it's already like a sticky situation, y'all just got to get through it type of shit. But the fact that it's been a constant fight, now I'm kind of like maybe
5%
at most, really. I was going to go like 2 or 3% asshole, and then everything else him. 97, 98. I could do math. But yeah, I mean, I think if it's a constant source of fighting and months on end without sleeping, the fact that he hasn't got that tested or got nightmares, you can't figure that out.
Yeah,
snoring
gonna happen.
Snoring, I think, is a part of sleep apnea. You could throw that machine on and figure it out. Yeah. But yeah,
or even like you can get like there are tons of different things snoring can be because of, and you can get a lot of them, fixed, and it helps you as well as your partner. I will.
Does mouth tape stop somebody from snoring?
Well, it depends on what it is, right? It can help.
Because I imagine it'd be hard to
sleep with it. Well, usually,
to do the action of opening your mouth and letting out that sound, letting out a snore. You know what I mean?
It definitely stifles it at the most, or at the least, I guess. But yeah, it can be caused from like broken nose or like deviated septums or whatever. There's tons of different reasons it could be. But he should get it checked out and stop.
Deviated septums remind me of Jake and Amir. I don't know. He says something like, I have a deviated septum for this kind of shit.
Nose whistle.
Get therapy.